Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 2v2 once again, and this time it is in Moscow Outskirts. Our heroes today, let's pop this open. We're gonna start it off with Flamee, or Flamee, but we're just gonna call him Flamee, playing for the Germans in the blue. His ally in the yellow is going to be Ryijy? Ryijy? I don't know. Ryijy, I guess we'll call him. Playing in the yellow. His opponents in the red are going to be Sorceleur. Not exactly a sorcerer, but it's a sorceleur, so kinda, a French sorcerer, I suppose. Anyways, he's gonna be playing as the Soviets in the red, and his ally in the purple or pink is going to be LeaKcim or LeaKcim. Yeah, LeaKcim. Yeah, we'll call him Leak. Whatever. Well, anyways, yeah, not much going on just yet. Let's take a quick look at those bulletins, I suppose. Gives us a little bit of time. Sorceleur going for armor on T-34s, weapon penetration on T-34s, and faster reload for 5% on T-34s. So we can expect Sorceleur to be conjuring some magical tanks. Leak is going to be having experience on his MGs, throwing Molotovs 7% further, and 10% increased range on T-34s, so he can also use those. First engagement over here on the right-hand side, Pyos running into those conscripts. Conscripts Ura forward, get right on top of the Pyos, and will deny that cover. They actually Ura past the Pyos to get into the church and secure the area. Very nice. Bulletins, let's keep on going. We have Ryijy going for 5% recharge on Panzer Warfare, so we can assume tier 4 for the yellow player. 10% experience on MGs, and the 2-2 split for his Grenadiers. And then Flamee is going 10% experience on his MG, 3% accuracy for the Grenadiers, and 10% faster recharge abilities for the mortars. So interesting splits. Let's go ahead and close that out and just see what the fighting has been going on here. So, yeah, a little bit of a big engagement. We have penal battalions on the field for the red player, which we said is Sorceleur. Penal battalions running straight into the MG42. MG42 setting up behind it, trying to get in range, but oh, a nice satchel. Almost clears it out. Manages to get out of there alive at one man. Very lucky break there for Flamee. Maxim machine gun for the purple player. Leak is supporting there with the conscripts now popping out of the house. And yeah, decently big engagement there in the center. We do have a mortar on the field for Ryijy. It's going to be difficult. And an MG42 over here in the center, helping out the Grenadiers as they fight a penal battalion, but the penal battalion is supported by a scout car, which will allow it to win that fight. Scout car for Sorceleur going straight past the arc of fire of that MG42, getting behind it, forcing it to pack up and retreat. So a nice little early victory there here for the Soviet players all over the place. Far left-hand side, we have some Grens for Ryijy, just moving around. I'm going to call him Ryijy as if he was from Street Fighter. Back at base, we have Tier 1 gone down for Ryijy, and we have Tier 1 and now Tier 2 out on the field for Flamee. Can only assume that he's going to be getting a scout car of his own to combat the Soviet scout car. For the Soviet players, we have Tier 1 for Sorceleur, getting his penal battalions as we see, and his scout car. And we have Tier 2 going down for Leak as he gets his Maxim machine gun. And that is the only thing so far. He is producing an AT gun at this point, but the other things on the field are just conscript squads, so only using the Tier 2 for one Maxim machine gun so far, so not bad. Up in the north, Flamee pushing back out with his troops. MG42 supporting his Grants as they advance with a mortar on the field for Flamee for support. He is getting a scout car, which will be hitting the field right now. And that scout car, like I said, will help combat this guy over here. This one doesn't have anything in it so far, but we can only assume that this combat engineer squad is running towards it with a flamethrower being upgraded. Left-hand side, the penal battalion takes a nasty rifle nade there by those Grens. The Grens managed to inflict quite a bit of casualties there. 3 3 members of the Penal Battalion already down. The scout car moves in to harass the Grand Squad. Grand Squad upgrades with an LMG, doing a lot of damage to the scout car, pops a Panzerfaust, and retreats as a combat engineer comes in to support the fight. Nice little engagement there for Ryijy. Center point, Grenadiers again for Ryijy just capping. We have some Penal Battalions as well moving around capping, but these are now getting mortared. Oh, a nasty shot there by the mortar, nails them on the retreat, killing 2 more men, forcing them away at 2. Sniper now on the field for the red player, Sorcerer. I'm just gonna butcher all the names here and call them whatever I want, apparently. MG42 and Maxim Machine Gun duking it out pretty much in point blank from cover to cover. Pio with a flamethrower moves up and supports. Actually, that's not a Pio, that's a combat engineer. I forget that these are Soviets. But the Maxim Machine Gun is forced to retreat. It is now down to 2 men. And the scout car on the field, not yet upgraded with anything, being using its MG42 on top, or LMG. I'm not exactly sure what gun it is, but it is an MG on top. I mean, it looks kind of like an MG42, but it has that barrel drum, so I forget what it's called. You can go check Imperial Data, and he'll probably know exactly what gun that was. Sniper forced to retreat. Combat engineer retreating. Conscripts in the center getting bombarded by the mortars. There are 2 mortars on the field for both German players. And we have a half-track and Panzer Grenadier queued up for Flamee, as he is going to be providing those for this fight. Tier 2 also gone down for Ryijy, so he's going to be able to provide his own either Panzer Grenadiers or vehicles for support. But no combination so far as you know, splitting tech. AT gun throwing an artillery barrage on a Grenadier squad. Grenadier squad manages to decap the munitions and then retreats, staying alive on 1 man. But it did take quite a bit of a beating. Autocannon already upgraded for the scout car for Flamee. Runs up to the north and forces away a conscript squad down to 2 men. We have a conscript squad just crawling around, going up to the north, running into a Grand Squad and an MG42 as it sets up the fight against it. The mortar for Ryijy was forced away, but there's still the mortar on the field for Flamee. And yeah, Grand Squads and MG42 still on the field. The Penal Battalion trying to hold a line as the sniper far in the back is opening up on the MG42, trying to decrew it as fast as possible, but it is only 1 sniper. And on the far left-hand side, 2 Grand Squads are going to cap that fuel point. We see something drop there. What is that? Oh, nasty demolition charge there. Who is it? I don't know exactly whose it is. Probably going to be Sorcerer, I would assume, considering he has a combat engineer squad right there. Trying to bait the squads to jump into the house, but none of them are actually taking the bait. The Penal Battalion and conscripts just hold their line a little bit behind. Penal Battalion moves in, and the Grens continue to capture the point. Center map. Mortar back on the field for Ryijy. Right-hand side. Panzer Grenadiers leading the charge as Grenadiers behind them run into an AT gun. Ooh, nasty shot there by the AT gun. Nails one of the Panzer Grenadiers on the advance. Will be able to reduce the amount of damage they take and allow them to get out of there quickly. However, there is a Maxim machine gun in this house, so that will allow them to get out of there very fast. Mortar could do with moving up a little bit here for Flamee, so that it could support this engagement and potentially bombard this house and clear out that Maxim machine gun. Rifle nade goes off on the Grens, trying to nail the combat engineers, but the combat engineers dodge that. We have mines getting laid down here by LeaKcim. I guess I'm just going to call him LeaKcim. And yeah, shock troops on the field for LeaKcim. Let's go ahead and take a look at those Doctrine selections. We have both Soviet players with Doctrines. We have Sorceleur taking the Soviet industry tactics, and that is why he has the T-34s. And we have LeaKcim going for the shock mortar heavy tactics, as you can see by the fact that he has shock troops right now. And he'll probably be calling an ISU later on. Conscripts will roll forward, get right on top and behind the MG42. The scout car is nearby to support. The conscripts push forward. They're going to try to get an 18-8 off on that scout car, it looks like, but they do not manage to do so. And left, cut off from their forces. We have a Grand Squad getting assaulted by a Maxim machine gun and more conscripts, forcing the retreat down to 1 man. Can they make it out? There are a lot of conscripts nearby. I think that squad is going to die. Conscripts open fire. They continue to pursue. And the Gren makes it out. No, never mind. Gets killed at the very last moment by a stray shot, and it nails him in the butt, and it dies. Mortar getting assaulted by some Penal Battalions in the center. Grand Squads move up to support. We do have a pack gun on the field for Ryijy. He has an LMG squad with, Grand Squad with an LMG. Satchel charge getting thrown at the Grens. Grens take 1 loss, and a house collapses, but that is about it. Left-hand side, snipers taking shots at the house, trying to clear out that MG42 as the MG42 rips into this penal battalion. The penal battalion taking quite a bit of damage, but the MG42 is down to one man. Can the sniper take it out? Does not look like it would be able to. It's already out of its range. And the MG42 makes it out. Far left-hand side, Grand Squad with LMGs just capturing territory. And yeah. Tier 3 now down for Sorceleur. Tier 3 also going down for Leah. He builds himself his T70. Interesting choice considering the buffs that he has, you know, invested on those T34s. I mean, it's armor protection, weapon penetration, and faster reload. But, well, I mean, the T70 is also not bad considering that there's no big armor on the field just yet, so it's fine. Let's go ahead and close that out so it doesn't obstruct the map too much. We can see here when our German players get their own doctrines, right? Grenadiers on the left-hand side run straight into the T70 as they're trying to pursue that sniper. We have a pack gun and another Grenadier squad moving up. The pack gun is not looking in the right direction to shoot at the T70, but even if it was, it is too far away. Sniper moves back, taking some cover. Shot goes off, kills one of the Grenadiers, but the last man makes it out of there alive at a very healthy amount of health. The Grents move right on top of the sniper. The sniper is forced to retreat, but we now have a T-34 on the field for Sorcerer, magically conjuring his vehicles, and yeah, he does have a lot of fuel income. You can see here, this is him, Sorcerer, 42 fuel income, pretty much blowing the amount of fuel that anybody else has at this point, and they have quite a bit of territory compared to the German forces. Could do with getting some fuel caches, you know, relatively, so he could spam even more, but manpower may become an issue. Penal Battalion up in the far north, getting annihilated on the retreat by the Grand Squad, a little bit too overextended. Shock troops in the center capture the point. We have an a Maxim machine gun in this church. MG42 opening up on it as a Panzer Grenadier squad moves up. Panzer Grenadier squad is not able to throw a bundle nade as they do not have enough munitions. AT gun takes some barrages. Flamethrowers on the half-track move up. Oh, it's clearing out that Maxim machine gun very quickly. Shock troops right on top of the Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers getting eaten alive by the shock troops. The scout car, the half-track cannot move up too aggressively as there is an AT gun looking at it, and it gets out of the way. Panzer Grenadier squad barely makes it out of there, but it is still alive. Mortar getting a little bit forced away by these combat engineers with flamethrowers as the T-34 moves forward, trying to catch, sorry for the little stutter there, trying to catch the half-track, takes a shot but misses, and they make it out of there alive. It is pursuing into the base. No, decides against it. Pack gun moving in that direction, trying to get a couple shots off on that T-34. Will be able to nail it once. No, actually, the T-34 moves out of the way and makes it out of there very luckily. We see a doctrine selection here for Flamee. That is the assault support doctrine. So he'll be able to call in some Tigers later on. But not yet. A Faust goes off on one of the Grenadier squads, nails that T-34. T-34 gets a damaged engine. The pack gun, however, is not in range to support. And we still have that sniper on the field that would decrew it if it goes too far. T-34 did take some Faust, it looks like, as well, and it is damaged on the engine. And by that, I mean the T-70, not T-34. And the penal battalions have been eliminated from the game for Sorcerer, so he is now relying entirely on his armor and the sniper to support him. Right-hand side, the combat infantry now fully controlled by Leah. Grenadiers in the center going for the cap on the point. The conscripts push forward. We do have an LMG on the squad, however, those are two conscripts. More squads there for support. Mortar shots flying on the on Ryijy's mortar. The Ren squad still holding strong at 3 men. Conscripts Ura just to run away rather than retreat, down to 1 man, forces the retreat. So a little bit of a spend munitions there with no real consequence or no real benefit, I should say. Ooh, T-70 moves forward, trying to harass the Grenadiers, takes a nasty shot there from a pack gun. Second shot goes off but misses, and the T-70 stays alive. Snipers move up. Excuse me, I was taking a drink. Sniper takes a shot but loses its spotter. You can see him there with no scope on his weapon. Scout car moves up, trying to get some shots off on that T-70, and yes, it can damage it, but it can't take it on a one-on-one. I mean, it is a scout car, not a tank. T-70 takes it out, and the combat engineers are gonna, well, not combat engineers, this is a repair station. Very nicely placed, although a little bit too exposed, but it's fine. I mean, it's exposed in this angle, which would still be the same thing. Maybe a little bit through here. Could be a little bit further back, you know, taking the entire hedge, but nah, it's fine. I mean, it's aggressive, yet it's sufficiently concealed that it is defended. LeaKcim machine gun duking it out against Panzer Grenadiers, point blank. Panzer Grenadiers getting pinned down. We see a bundle nade was used on the LeaKcim machine gun, but only 2 men have died on the squad. Mortar shots, however, are flying 2 at a time at the LeaKcim machine gun, forcing it to pack up and back away. The Panzer Grenadiers, noticing no more shots flying in their heads, get themselves up and continue to shoot at the LeaKcim machine gun. However, a T-70 moves in to relieve the LeaKcim machine gun and continue to damage the Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers down to 1 man. Can he make it out? Shot flies, but it misses. Second shot flies, misses once again, and the Panzer Grenadiers out of there clean. Pios also getting harassed. The mortar is a little bit exposed. We do have a Stug on the field for Flamee. Tier 3 going down for him. Over on the left-hand side, we also have Tier 3 going down for Ryijy. He gets a Panzer 4. So a little bit of a combined arms there for the tanks. Stug and Panzer 4 combination is very nice, as long as they are kept together. Stug moves up, not really afraid of the T-70. The T-70 goes down to the Stug very quickly, and there goes one T-70. We do have still a T-34 on the field for Sorcerer. However, he is damaged on the engine. Penal Battalion getting called back in for Sorcerer, using his manpower there, but Penal Battalion taking some shots there from the pack gun, destroys its heavy cover. The heavy cover is quite minimal in this area now. Panzer 4 moves up, however, the Penal Battalion is really has nothing it can do against it. The sniper makes itself known, the Panzer 4 trying to take it down. T-34 is still nearby, but has a damaged engine. With a damaged engine, it cannot ram, and the Panzer 4 is now going up against the KV-8. The KV-8 is not really a threat to the Panzer 4, however, with the second T-34 moving in for support, that is quite a significant amount of tanks that the Panzer 4 cannot handle on its own. Stug could do with moving in this direction to help out, and it is moving in that direction. The KV-8 is just barreling down on the infantry, trying to, well, you know, take advantage of the fact that it is a KV-8. Shots continue to fly from the tanks. The KV-8 unable to do much to it. However, the pack gun is also there for support. Shots continue to fly at the KV-8. KV-8 taking quite a bit of damage. The KV-8 is not gonna live long if it stays there, so it turns itself around and gets the hell out of there. We do still have that repair station, and the repair station is trying to repair the T-34 still. T-34 up in the north, Panzer 4 chasing it down. T-34 has taken some damage. We see a full break on the lines here for Flamee with his infantry. However, the Panzer 4 might have been able to get the kill there. However, there is an AT gun, and he knows it, so he does not move in that direction. We see a strafing run coming down here from Leah. Not Leah, Flamee. On Leah, I should say. And the shock troops and conscripts are essentially forced to retreat. There they go. Okay, so both players actually went for the assault support doctrine, so it's quite nice for them. Panzer 4 thrown into the mix. Panzer Grenadiers pushing forward. Conscript squad down to 3 men. We do have a decrewed pack on the field. That is 1 for yellow for Ryijy. T-34 now fully repaired, moves up and takes some shots. The KV-8 now as well fully repaired, allows them to push that way. And we'll see what he ends up doing. We have Opal Blitzes on the field for Ryijy, just utilizing the resources there. And a little bit of a stalemate as the flame flew by, just denying territory. We do have an anti-air half-track on the field for Leia, but he's not doing much with it just yet. And we see Flamee pushing back onto the field. Panzer Grenadiers and Grents, followed up by a mortar and the Stug, just for support. We have nothing nearby that is stopping them. Maxim machine gun is currently on the left-hand side, capturing, or the center, I should say, capturing the victory point. So we have the Panzer Grenadiers running straight onto this munitions point, running into the combat engineers. Combat engineers taking the bundle aid to the face, forced to retreat, and the Panzer Grenadiers continue to cap. Center point still massively controlled here by the purple player, Leo. For red, we now have a SU-85 getting produced, so he decides to go for tier 4. Not exactly sure why, but I guess it's fine. I mean, it's still okay. But usually speaking, especially with the bulletins that he has, you would expect, you know, a lot of T-34s, you know, just overwhelming amounts of T-34s, but I guess that's not what he's trying to do. Ram goes off. Oh, very nice. Ram goes off on that T-34, nails the Panzer IV and ends up destroying it. So Ryijy no longer has a Panzer IV. He is producing a Flak Panzer right now, which I don't completely agree with. He could do with canceling it right now and building another Panzer IV, but does not look like he's interested in doing that. We see another strafing run getting called in by Ryijy. Right on top of the shock troops and conscripts, forces them away, down to one man on that conscript squad. The SU-85, however, moves up and is shooting at the Stug. The Stug gets his veteran C2, getting those armored skirts, managing to deflect some shots, but the SU-85 ends up taking it out, and down goes the Stug. No more tanks left on the field. Never mind, actually. We have a Tiger on the field, and a Flak Panzer. The Tiger on the field here for Flamee. Is he actually going to go pursue these tanks? He may well do that, and he may be advised to do that, considering the SU-85 is currently heavily damaged. It is down to about 30% health. However, it does risk itself to getting rammed by the T-34s. MU-42 over here on the center point, stopping those approaching infantry. We have the T-34 taking some shots here from the pack gun and the Tiger. T-34 now heavily damaged, down to about 25% health. The SU-85 not being repaired. Repairs are going down on the KV-8. They switch priority. I'm not exactly sure if you can order them, although you may. I don't think you can, though. So they switch priorities over to the KV-8, and the KV-8 starts getting repaired. So now the SU-85 going to be the second. The Tiger still on the field, not really damaged. We have a Flak Panzer for Ryijy, but Flak Panzer is just getting annihilated here by the SU-85 at long range. Flak Panzer needs to get itself out of there, and there it goes. Decides to move away. And the flamethrower half-track pushes into the center, trying to clear out that Maxim machine gun. Maxim machine gun getting reinforced on the fly by the half-track, ends up dying, and the half-track with its anti-air gun is opening up on the half-track for the German players. We see a, what is it? Bombing run? Yeah, bombing run right on top of the pack gun, clears it out once again. The Tiger moves up, gets a crew shock apparently on that KV-8. The T-34 goes for the ram. The Tiger backs off but gets rammed. Crew shock only goes off on the Tiger. The Tiger is a little bit stunned right now, but it will come back in online. There it goes. And the T-34 will be going down for Leo. Down goes the T-34. Two SU-85s, however, are on the field for Sorcerer, so that Tiger will have a very difficult time. And we also have an ISU on the field for Leah, so I suppose he does not mind losing his T-34 at this point. Shots just fly, hitting trees. Not exactly sure what that ISU is aiming at. Far right hand side, we see a massive push here of infantry by the purple player, by Leah. The strafing run comes down once again and pins everything. Half-track with his flamethrower gets right on top of all the infantry, burning alive those shock troops. Nasty shots there by the mortar also nail them. The conscripts are forced to retreat as well, so everything is currently on the retreat, and we see the half-track chasing them down, trying to get some additional kills. We do have the ISU nearby, however, so the ISU could potentially turn itself around and shoot at the half-track. The half-track stops the pursuit and just throws a little bit more damage on the edge and backs off. Victory points, we currently have 328 for the Germans, 348 for the Soviets, so pretty even there. 20-point difference, not really that much of a difference at all. ISU is apparently just blind firing into the center of the map. We do have a... No, that is... KV-8 moves up, trying to clear out that pack gun. The ISU is supporting with very, very long-range shots. You see a shot go off right there, but it misses completely. However, the KV-8 finishes the job, and down goes the pack gun. The pack gun is still on the field, very healthy, but, well, he's going to have a tough time about that. The Tiger, now actually not even fully repaired, still at about 90% strength, backs off as Su-85s and KV-8s just push onto the territory, slowly creeping their forces forward. Those Su-85 have incredible range against tanks. The ISU has even more range against everything, and, well, yeah. Strafing run coming right on top of the point. There isn't anything for the strafing run to shoot at. We have a combat engineer a little bit further back, and a AT gun in the center, but the AT gun is not going to get suppressed, so no real benefit there. Left-hand side, we see Ryijy going for some caps on the point and sneaking around his Grenadier squads to capture that. However, we see a KV-8 just barreling down on top of the infantry. They need to retreat now. The KV-8 is not going to pursue. Notices that there are some Gren squads down south, and that's actually 2 Gren squads. These squads might actually go down to the KV-8. The Grenadiers retreat as they notice, oh, wait, there's a KV-8 chasing us down. Will the KV-8 pursue? No, it looks like the KV-8 was on a move order to go in this direction, which is very fortunate here for Ryijy. Ryijy gets his own Tiger on the field. Tiger duking it out on a fully frontal engagement against the ISU and the Su-85s. Tiger gets battered down to about half health. Gonna need some repairs before it can do anything. And we see the Tiger and Stug now moving on its own, on their own, I mean. On the right-hand side, we have a Flak Panzer moving in for the flank. That Flak Panzer may actually get the sniper spot. That's actually going to be very nice for him. Sniper's getting revealed here by the Flak Panzer. The Flak Panzer turns its sights on the sniper. Sniper going to be going down. There goes the sniper. And the Su-85s can't get shot on the rear armor. The Tiger does manage to get in behind the ISU, getting some shots off on the side armor. However, the Stug went down very quickly. ISU is now out of control. The Su-85 is getting surrounded and flanked. Blitzkrieg getting used on the Tiger. The Tiger gets itself out of there. It got the kill. It picked up the kill on the ISU. It doesn't want to be greedy and try to go for, you know, the kill on all the tanks. And it manages to get out of there at about 30% strength. Su-85 gets shot here by the pack gun over in the north. The pack gun doing quite a bit of damage. And the Su-85 goes down to the Tiger. AT gun moves up. The Tiger is still at about half strength, actually less, at about 40% at most. Pack gun or AT guns just taking some shots after shots at that Tiger. We see a strafing run getting called in right on top of these shock troops. Shock troops getting suppressed and forced to retreat as the Flak Panzer pursues them and takes some shots. Flak Panzer, however, runs itself right into the center in front of 2 AT guns and an Su-85 and gets destroyed quite immediately. The KV-8 is still on the field. Victory points now spreading to 100. We have 244 for the Germans, 348 for the Soviets. So the Soviets have extended their lead to 100 points, sitting very comfortably. Ryijy pushing forward into the center with all his infantry, getting shot at by everything, even an artillery barrage on the AT gun. However, he manages to dodge that with really only one loss. KV-8, however, is nearby for support of the AT guns, and the Panzer Grenadiers get burned alive very quickly. Panzer Grenadiers going to try to retreat. Can they make it out? I don't think they're going to be able to make it out. The KV-8, no, actually KV-8 will not pursue, as there are pack guns nearby, so it will let them live. And the Panzer Grenadiers make it out of there. Very lucky. AA gun on the half track taking some shots at the plane as he moves around, but does not manage to take it down. Mortar Veteran C2 set up behind the rubble of this house. Nice little angle there. Taking some shots at the conscripts, trying to capture the point. Nasty shot after shot there from the mortar. Down to 4 men on each of the squads, both shock troops and conscripts. Forcing them away. Right-hand side, Grenadiers going for the cap on the munitions. We also have a Panzer Grenadier squad sneaking behind for this. And we have the half-track trying to take out this AT gun over here on the far right-hand side. However, the other AT gun is moving in its direction setting itself up to be able to take down the half-track. Half-track takes a nasty shot on the rear armor. Second shot goes down, and the half-track goes down, but not before it manages to clear out that AT gun. However, AT gun is very close to the enemy base, so nothing really, you know, gets accomplished from that, as, well, they'll just be able to recrew it. Center point, Panzer Grenadier going for the cap. No ISU has gotten replaced. We only have a half-track on the field for LeaKcim as far as vehicles go. Vehicle presence is currently by Sorcerer. He has his it is two, right? No, it's one Su-85, a KV-8, and now a KV-2. KV-2, I'm not exactly sure what it's doing. There it is. Shots start flying from the KV-2. It's set up in a firing position. It has to be, you know, a little bit static. Tigers push forward. They run into the wall of the AT gun and the Su-85 and decide not to engage fully and just back off. As the squads over here just continue to get barraged by the KV-2, and a squad actually went down here. I think that was an MG42 that got destroyed. Pack gun getting decrewed by that KV-2. KV-2 is essentially an artillery gun. Shots continue to fly, very, very long distance. Trying to clear out that Veteran C3 mortar. Veteran C3 mortar not really capable of matching the amount of firepower that that KV-2 is currently outputting. Takes a shot, loses one of its men, and decides, you know what, I think it's time we move out of here. Shots continue to fly. Right into the center. The mortar gets out of there, and they're still alive. So the Soviet players setting up a very strong point here. I mean, we do have 2 repair stations and all the vehicles nearby. However, they are exposing the flanks, and we see that on the far left-hand side, Grenadiers do go for the cap of the victory point and end up retreating. More Tigers getting called in. We see a second Tiger for Flamee. So he now has 2. One of them is still getting repaired, and now Veteran C2. New one coming into the field right now. So with 3 Tigers, I think they might actually be able to break these lines if they coordinate. The previous engagement we saw earlier on, we saw one of the Tigers push in by itself, get battered and forced to back off, and then the other Tiger moved in with his own support of the Stug. And yeah, they did manage to take out the ISU, but I mean, if both of them had attacked at the same time, it would have been a much better engagement, especially with the help of the Stug. So Panzer Grenadiers move up into the center, get some shots off with their Panzer Shreks at the Su-85. Su-85 going to have to get repaired. It can only get repaired apparently by 1 repair station at a time. And the KV-8 is now going to get some repairs. No, actually, there they go. They finally notice, oh, that tank needs repairs. Let's everybody get on top of it. So right-hand side, shock troops going for the cap on that munitions. They run into the Tiger, and the half-track is currently getting targeted. Tiger shoots but misses the half-track, so the half-track will be able to get out of there. The shock troops are trying to capture the point, and these Tigers unable to stop them apparently. AT gun sets up all the way into the center, getting some shots off on the Tiger as the Tiger blitzkrieg out of its arc of fire. Second Tiger moves in as the other Tiger comes in around the edge. We do have a stolen pack gun getting shot at by both sides from the Tigers. And there we go. A damage engine goes off, however, on this Tiger. This Tiger is now a little bit slow. The Tiger for Ryijy pushes all the way up to the center. We have a second Tiger coming in for Ryijy, apparently. There he goes. So 2 Tigers, 4 Tigers on each. Su-85 unable to stop all of this. The AT gun's also getting decrewed. We have the 2 Tigers up in the north engaging against the troops. AT gun still shooting at the Tigers. One of the Tigers goes down. Second Tiger goes down for Ryijy as the Su-85 gets crew shocked by the other Tiger here and going to be taken out in one last shot. There it goes. KV-2 still on the field. The KV-8 is also there as well. We see a strafing run coming down. That's a bombing run, I believe. Not exactly sure where it got called into. Bombing run right on top of all of these guys. Getting some crew shocks, getting some damage. The Tiger moves up and is focusing on the KV2. It wants to clear it out from there. The Tiger for Flamee is still alive, but at about half strength, so it backs off. The Tiger for Ryijy decides to tough it out and duke it out against the Su-85. The Tiger for Flamee could do with just pushing forward and helping out his friend's tank, I should say. But it doesn't matter. At this point, it looks like the towel was thrown in by the Soviet players. And that is all. I mean, we do have only one shock troop squad and a conscript squad for purple, and red had one conscript squad somewhere around here, over here. And I mean, he did have a KV-8 and an Su-85, but yeah, I mean, doesn't look like he felt it was enough. The KV-8, it's all the way back at base. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.